Hello there, Jedi Master Shaggy here to show you the new quick release coupler for LGT lightsabers from Vire Sabers. What this allows you to do is take two lightsabers and turn them into a lightsaber staff and take them back apart quickly and easily. So how this works is there's two pommels basically that go on the ends of two separate LGT VHC lightsabers. And one of them has a male end here, the other has a female end here with a little grooved sleeve portion that you can pull back. When the two lightsabers are together, they're very sturdy together. They spin nicely. I find I'm able to do everything I would with a normal lightsaber staff. Spins with one hand, two hand, basically everything I would normally do with a lightsaber staff, I can do with this. Very safe, very sturdy in my opinion. Now when you want to separate them, if you pull the direction that it's not supposed to pull in, nothing happens. If you pull them apart, nothing happens. The only way to separate them is to pull back in the proper direction on this center ridged or grooved sleeve. Pulling back on that allows the two of them to be pulled apart. If you want to put them together, you have two options. One option is just to shove them together, which requires a little bit of force, but is very doable. The other option is to put them together while already pulling back on this portion, which allows them to slide together much easier with much less force and effort. Both options work. Again, if I want to separate, just pull back here, pull them apart, nice and easy. Put them together, pull back on this preferably, put them together, nice and easy. So let's look inside and see exactly how this works. So if we're looking inside of here, you'll kind of see these little ball bearings. And when you pull back on this, it kind of pulls those ball bearings back inside of it. So what this does is this slides in and it'll normally would hit the ball bearings here, which is why a good amount of force would be required to push the two together. Kind of see the sleeve moving as I did that. So that will push the ball bearings in and hold it in place here, so it's not going anywhere. That's why it's held nice and tightly in place here, not going anywhere if I pull it apart. So basically, this allows you to combine any two LGT VHC lightsabers together to form a staff very easily, very quickly. This has a few benefits. One of the benefits is it's a lot easier to carry around two separate single lightsabers than it is to carry around really long lightsaber staff. This is especially true at conventions, or you could just put the lightsabers on a belt, or what I prefer to do, in some scabbards, where it's a lot easier to carry around two lightsabers in scabbards on my belt here than it is to try to lug around a 6, 7, or even longer foot staff. This is very easy, this is very convenient. Plus, I can take them out and I can join them together nice and easily. Very convenient, very cool for choreography, exhibitions, stunt work, anything like that. Very quick, very easy to take them apart. Put them back in the scabbards here. And I could walk around very easily compared to what I would have to do with the 6, 7, 8 foot saber staff that there's no good way to carry around. Some other cool things you could do with this is this scabbard here, which is actually also made of the LGT VHC parts. I added another female quick coupler end on the back of it, and now I can join my lightsaber katana to it, which allows me to turn the scabbard into part of the handle for a lightsaber pike or naginata. Again, I could spin this just as comfortably as I would spin any other lightsaber staff, pike, naginata, whatever you want to call it. Very fast, very easy, very comfortable to use. And I could separate it quickly and easily. And even when you're not using it for the quick release coupler benefits, still looks pretty solid as just a basic pommel here. Same goes for the female end. Pretty decent looking pommel. No complaints using either of them just as basic lightsaber hilts when they're not combined into a staff. And when they are combined as a staff, looks very nice, looks like it's supposed to go together. It doesn't look like some makeshift cobbled together piece of equipment. So the central piece does rotate somewhat, which is actually kind of nice if you want to align certain lightsaber parts together. Normally you'd have to rely on timing shims or O-rings, which would be a little bit of a challenge to get them to line up perfectly. But with this coupler, I could kind of just rotate these two. If I want to line up the buttons and they're out of alignment, kind of just rotate them. And we could just rotate them to be in alignment wherever that alignment we want is. If we're spinning the lightsabers a lot, come out of alignment a little bit potentially, but you can put it right back into alignment for photo or cosplay purposes whenever you want. Let's see what happens if I do some spinning. See what happens to that alignment. So do some spins in front of me. Let's do some two-handed spins. Let's do some Obianis. And let's take a look at this. See that alignment? Kept pretty much in alignment, not too bad. So this quick release coupler actually functions in much the same way that the Ultra Saber quick release coupler functions. Much in the same way that I would pull back on this portion here to separate these two lightsabers. I would pull back on this same larger female sleeve to separate these two lightsabers. And just to put them back together, I could push them back together. Push them back together. Now there's a few differences between these two, as you can see. The most noticeable one probably being the size. The LGT quick coupler is a good bit thinner than the Ultra Saber's quick coupler, just as the general LGT hilt parts are thinner than the Ultra Saber's hilt parts. Also, one thing I've noticed is that this sleeve over the coupler that allows them to be disengaged is also a little bit of a sleeker, slimmer design than the Ultra Saber's design is, where it's not really protruding out past the lightsaber hilt dimensions in general, where the Ultra Saber's one is a little bit wider and protrudes out a little bit more past the standard dimensions of the hilt. This can make it a little bit easier to spin this LGT quick coupler staff, since it's really not any thicker than the lightsaber hilt itself. You don't really even notice it, in my view, when you're spinning it. It feels just like a normal lightsaber would. And these nice little textured grooves provide some visual appeal to it, make it seem like just an intentional design portion of the lightsaber that looks nice. Whereas with the Ultra Sabers one, it's a little bit larger, protrudes a little bit more. Still doesn't look bad in my opinion. Still looks pretty nice. Both function very similarly. Push together, pull apart. Easier to put together when you're pulling back. Same way as this works. Pull apart. Easier to push together when you're pulling here. Nice and easy, very simple to use. Both function largely the same way. They take two lightsabers, put them together to form a lightsaber staff. But in my experience, the LGT VHC lightsabers have more options in what they're able to do, more customization in parts to build the hilt exactly what you want, and more cores readily available from baselit to NeoPixel, Xenopixel, Profi, Golden Harvest. Customize it exactly how you want, add whatever fonts you want, custom fonts, blade styles, gesture controls to turn the lightsabers on and off. A lot of cool things you can do that, in my opinion, make this new LGT quick coupler from Vire Sabers my go-to quick release coupler for my lightsabers as Jedi Shaggy. And here we can see the LGT VHC quick coupler from Vire Sabers in action, going from lightsaber katana with the scabbard to the lightsaber naginata. And now we have dual lightsaber katanas with scabbards
changing into a lightsaber staff quickly and easily. And that's about it for the LGT quick coupler from Vire Sabers. Overall, a really awesome product that opens up a lot of build options for LGT VHC lightsabers, and I've had a ton of fun using it so far. Hopefully you do too.